Good morning. Just going for our morning walk here. And I'm taking the path through the field. I want to be uninterrupted from my musing here. And I've just got to thinking, reminiscing, I suppose. Back to the summer of 2015. I was a despairing Christian. By that time, 2015, let's see, I had been a Christian for well over 25 years. And I found myself in a dark, despairing moment, sitting on my bed. I don't remember the day, but I remember it was summer, July 2015. And I cried out to God, feeling that somehow I was missing it. The truth was evading me, and I cried out to God, please show me the truth, whatever the cost. Don't you find it ironic that I would say that as a Christian? Do we not as Christians assume that we have the truth? But my soul was telling me different. My soul was crying out for something that kept eluding me. And so I said, please, let me get it before I die, before I pass from this life. I had to get the truth and the purpose for my life in this lifetime. I did not want to miss it so badly. There's a buck, but I don't think my camera will zoom out that far. Yeah, so I was in despair. Despair of living, despair of missing the point for which I came, for which I'm here. The point, what's the point of being human, right? I was looking for meaning, and Christianity just did not satisfy that longing. So what I find peculiar is that my asking for truth led me away from the traditional and conventional belief of Christianity, which we all take to be truth, the ultimate religion of truth. And I was led away from it all. I lost. Well, it would really accelerate 6 months later after my mum passed from cancer, and that rocked me. That shook my faith. I lost my faith. I lost my faith in God for a moment. But since I didn't have anything new to hold on to yet, that only lasted for 2 weeks before I reached back to the familiar and tried to make it work. So, I threw out the Bible. I was so mad at the God of the Bible. And I somehow, comforted myself with Jesus and just kind of hobbled along on 3 legs. And but over time, even that would dissolve. And I have now found my purpose for being. I have found my purpose of soul. I have found my soul. And my soul has turned out to be the truth. Not some belief, right? Not some theology, not some God being in the sky, but my own soul. My own soul was crying from deep within me, buried under all of the layers of information that religion dumped on us and heaped on us and built in us just to build up our ego. But I cried. I cried for truth, and it led me away from Christianity. Now I'm curious. Often you will get people from the New Age that will all of a sudden turn to the Bible, turn to Christianity. I wonder if their soul also cried out, God, if you're real, please show me the truth. And it leads them to Christianity. How do you figure that? How does that work? What is the common denominator here? I think it's the soul cry. And when we answer the soul cry, that's when we're led to truth, to the truth of our soul. We honor our soul. We honor our soul as the divine spark. And when we come home to soul, that is where we find the truth, because soul is God. If you remember reading it in the Bible, God breathed into the clay and up stood a living soul. So the breath of God is our soul. And when our soul cries for truth, it's crying for itself. It's crying for us to come home to self. Not the ego that was formed and shaped by traditions, beliefs, indoctrinations, but what we feel at the heart level, what we feel deep within. And when we honor that, we are honoring the truth. I am the truth. I am the way, and I am the life. Something else I noticed with Christianity. When people turn to Christianity as their vehicle to God, their consciousness is immediately split into the us versus them judgment. It splits the consciousness into us versus them, and all of a sudden you have enemies, just like the theology in Christianity believes that God has enemies. So you make enemies. But in my case, when I abandoned the belief of the Christian God, the good versus the evil, God versus Satan, when I abandoned that and I saw God to be life itself, and life invited me to itself, my consciousness became one. And I saw how everything is one, how we are all the same, how we are all fractals of the divine, experiencing the one life. See, and that is where love, not judgment, but love flourished in my heart. And I believe love is the truth. And I believe truth will ultimately lead you to that love, for love is God.